Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, we had the chance to catch up with the re-elected senator of the Legislative District 40, Senator Kristin Corrado, at the Hillary Street Restaurant and Grill in Totowa, and she shares a lot about her story growing up, and then also her challenges and her and some of the things that she loves about being our senator. All right, enjoy the episode, everybody. All right, everybody, so here we are. We're at Hillary Street Cafe in Totowa, and I mean, it's such a cute, quaint little place. I can see why you like it here. And I am sitting next to the newly re-elected senator of the 40th Legislative District, Kristin Corrado. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming here.
So,
it's great.
How was it? All right, now you're re-elected.
I'm re-elected.
How was it the second time versus the first time you ran?
It was exhausting. I'm glad it's over. It was tough. This is the first time we ran in a new district.
Yeah, so let's talk a little. So they realign the districts. How often does that happen?
So it's every 10 years in our Constitution, and it's based on population. And so it's usually done in even years once the census has been completed. This is unique, and it'll probably never happen again. We're off a year. We're off an election cycle. It should have happened during COVID.
Oh, it was supposed to happen a few years ago?
Yeah, it should have happened for the last election.
And here it was.
So it was pushed back.
When did they announce it?
They made the decision during COVID with the census. There was questions whether or not they were going to get the census done in time and have the information to redistrict it. So they actually pushed off the physical redistricting about a year, and then announced the new districts and created this situation that was unique that I don't think will ever happen again, where we were representing one district for a year and a half, but knowing we were running in a totally new district. And trying to keep that balance of making sure we're representing our constituents, but going into the new towns and starting to meet everybody. Pretty unique.
So which towns did you lose and which did you pick up?
So we had 15 before, and we still have 15. We had two towns in Morris County, Pequannock and Riverdale. We lost them.
Okay.
We had Bergen County towns that we lost, Upper Bergen County, so the Allendale, Waldwick, Midland Park, and Hohokus, we lost them.
Oh, right along that main line train.
Yeah, yes, exactly. In Passaic County, we lost Pompton Lakes and picked up Hawthorne. And then we moved.
Yay for Hawthorne.
Yes, yay for Hawthorne. We're glad to be there. And then we moved in a totally different direction, and we went into Essex County, where we picked up the bulk of our towns. We had Cedar Grove, that was it.
Okay.
And so now we have all the Caldwells: Caldwell, North Caldwell, West Caldwell, Fairfield, Verona. And we still have Cedar Grove and Essex Falls.
Of course, you have Cedar Grove because that's where Tommy DeVito's from.
That is, we are thrilled, and we also have Aaron Rodgers. So we're covering all our bases in New Jersey. What are the chances that the two, New York quarterbacks would both live in District 40?
Right there, you go. Nice. They know you're a football fan.
I am a Giant fan too.
Are you?
And married to a Jet fan, so we've spread it around.
I can make this announcement. I'm not going to tell you where it's going to happen, but we did find out. I just found out yesterday that Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets, Tommy D, is going to be coming to Hawthorne to sign autographs, but you got to stay tuned to the Towncast to be announced. You got to stay tuned to the Towncast. He's coming to Hawthorne, and I'm hoping I want to get his parents on the Towncast.
That would be great. I've heard they're wonderful people.
Yeah, they look like fun.
Everybody that knows them in the town has nothing but great things to say about them.
Especially when you do this the right way. You know what I mean? Because so many people, they're like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Come on, please.
We are very, very proud of him. And it's exciting. And I know he did a signing in Wayne.
Yeah, I went there.
The line, they said, was out the door. And I know some people that went, and they can't stop raving about him.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned because we will announce it. And we'd love for you to come.
I'd love to be there.
All right. We'll make sure to include you. Absolutely. All right. So how did you even get involved? You grew up
Grew up in Totowa.
Grew
Born
up in
and
Totowa
raised
your whole
right
life.
here in this town, yep.
And your office is still in Totowa.
My office
and
is still in
representing
Totowa. Yeah.
How did
Totowa girl.
How did you ever get involved in politics? Like, what made you? Because I don't get it.
Yeah.
I really don't get it. I don't get anybody that's in politics.
So I started behind the scenes with my dad.
Oh.
My dad was involved at the local level with our town of Totowa, and sometimes helping out at the county level. And I kind of, whatever my dad did, I wanted to do. And so I started at a really young age. He would bring me to meetings, to reorganization meetings at the town. And back
That's
in the
so
day,
cool.
I knocked on doors for other candidates. We didn't have email, and so you really contacted them by knocking on doors and making
Right.
that one-on-one contact. But we did letters. We used to send letters and address envelopes. We used to make phone calls.
Did
And
you? How old were you when you started doing it?
I was probably in my early teens when I started on the phone calls,
so
but the
cool.
the background stuff and the helping out, putting packets together, I've been doing that my whole life, helping behind the scenes. And as I got older, I got more involved. But I will tell you, running for office was never on my radar. It was
Really?
not something I wanted to do. I mentioned to you off camera, I'm one of 7. My parents will tell you, hands down, I am their least likely child to get involved in politics.
Where are you in the 7?
Number 2.
You were number 2?
Number 2.
And at boys, girls? What's the...
5 girls, 2 boys, and
Wow.
I am probably one of the shyer children in the family.
Really?
This has put me out of my shell.
And no one else is involved in politics?
I have. They all help out. They all help out on elections. I have a younger sister who's brilliant, smart. She does great things. She works for an NGO. I could see her going into politics
Oh,
someday.
okay.
Yeah, she
All
would
right.
be the one.
But now you're the inspiration now.
But I am. I guess so. But it's, what, I think my elections are unique because it was always a family effort and a team effort, and that's one of the things about my family and my town keeps me grounded. It's humbling because they're proud.
Yeah.
They were really proud when I ran. They took it personally. We had people that helped out, or I made sure my family voted, or I told my kids to get out and vote. And I always say it was a team effort, and that's really, we're grassroots. That's how we run our campaigns.
Yeah, well,
Old school.
family's always good to keep you grounded and
Yeah.
remember who you are and where you're from.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Especially that many siblings.
That's true.
Yeah, let me be the first to tell you. So, what made you pick? Because you were Passaic County Clerk.
I was.
What made you pick that particular office? to
I
get
was
started?
actually asked to run for office in 2009, and
Was it your dad?
It wasn't my dad. It was the party chairman at the time, who's a lifelong friend, and we were sending a message. There was a split in the party, and we kind of said, "Hey, don't forget about us. We're here too." Just to put it out there and see how we would do.
Right.
We weren't expected to win, and we went on a really hard-fought primary. The candidates I ran with at the time were running for freeholder. They didn't win, so we went into the general election kind of a split ticket. I ran off the line. I didn't have the party's support, but we worked together and we were successful that year, and we won the clerk seat and 3 commissioner seats.
Wow.
And that
So,
was-
what does it mean to be a county clerk?
So the county clerk is the constitutional office. It's one of 3 in New Jersey, along with the sheriff and the surrogate. It's actually set forth in the New Jersey State Constitution. It dates back to English times. It came over with the Pilgrims. The clerks were the clerics who knew how to read and write, and they recorded the property.
Oh, so you were
records.
elected because you knew how to read and write.
I was.
That's one of the
That
one of the
was
reasons.
one.
One of the small reasons.
It was. And then one of the things they do is they're over the years evolved. They're involved in elections, which was hands down my favorite part. They were in charge of the vote by mail, designing the ballot,
Oh, okay.
certifying the election. It was a great learning experience, a great responsibility. It was something I enjoyed. And then they do passports, veteran IDs.
Oh, okay.
And they do all your property records are recorded in the clerk's office, your deeds, your mortgages.
Right.
And it's pretty cool because they have records dating back to the 1600s for Passaic County.
Is there really?
There are. It's really neat. There's maps and books and handwritten books with
And
bound.
do people have access to it if they ever want
They
to see
do.
them? Really?
They do. They're open to the public. A lot of the older books are, preserved.
Yeah.
And a lot of the documents are online now, but the maps and everything are still there.
Wow. So they can
Yeah.
go to the clerk's office and say, "I'd like to see
Yeah.
the records."
Yeah.
Really? That's so cool.
Yep, they're public records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've been to the clerk's office, but I
Yeah.
have no idea what they do. And then you
Yeah.
were telling me, so you are your own boss as a
You
clerk.
are. You are. I was mentioning that people would come in and say, I'd like to see, who you answer to.
I want to talk to your boss.
Wait a
ahead.
bit. Wait a bit. If there
That's
was
when
a
you go like this.
problem,
What are you talking about? What?
and I would say, I am my boss. And they said, I'm going to tell the governor on you. And I would say, go ahead. I didn't answer to the governor. It's a unique office. They're responsible for themselves, and they run their office. The funding comes from the county.
Right.
So the freeholders set the budget. But the county clerk's offices, I don't think people realize, it is a moneymaker for most counties, because it depends, your realty transfer fees, your documents that are being
Right.
recorded, a fee comes back from the passports. If you're opening up a business, you register it there, you swear in notaries, so it does
So you're
add
the
up.
cash cow. That was the cash cow.
They really are the moneymaker for the county.
Wow,
They're one
why'd
of
you
them.
leave?
I ran for another
Senator.
office. Yeah,
So you were county clerk, and how many years were you the clerk?
about 8. I ran for re-election in 2014, and I won. And I was going to finish it out and go back to my normal life.
Yeah, but that
It didn't happen.
didn't quite happen that way. So
No.
what transpired that said, oh, I'm going to do this?
I had, again, one of those unique situations where I got a phone call from Kevin O'Toole, who was the senator for the 40th district and had made the decision not to run again. And before he went public with it, he called me one morning and said, I'm not going to run. I think you should think about running for my seat. And it took me about 10 seconds to say, I'm going to do it.
Really?
I did. It wasn't something I was thinking about.
Just when it was
but when the
offered to you.
opportunity to run for it, I remember I went to work. I called my dad. I said, Dad, I think we're going to run for Senate.
Oh,
he
you must
was
have
all
been so
in.
proud.
He was really proud.
Is he still alive?
He is. He's still
must-
my law partner. I work with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, I have both my parents. I'm very blessed.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So he must still be just.
He loves this. He loves the election. He loves behind the scenes. He loves helping out on the campaigns. We kind of run them out of our law office together. What we're going to do, and so yeah, my family's very
let's
involved.
promote your law office. It's Corrado and Corrado.
It's me and my dad.
And is your family related to the Corrado family that has the supermarket?
No, we probably
Different Corrado?
are somewhere
Somewhere.
along
Yeah,
the
yeah,
line.
can't be too many
Same
Corrado.
name, and quite a few of the family live in the district, and they've been nothing but kind.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get. They said they get asked sometimes. Are you related,
Are you related
to the
to the
senator?
senator?
I get asked if I'm related to the market every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
It's a great name.
All right, so for the
Great
record,
name.
they're not related.
But we might be somewhere. We got to search.
So you had Corrado and Corrado law offices
Yep.
in Totowa.
That's my
And what
full-time
kind of
job.
law? What kind of law do
My
you
dad
have?
and I, we always say it's a general, dad and daughter firm. We do a lot of real estate. We do a lot of estate work, wills, and I represent the town of Totowa
Okay. Oh,
as their
nice.
municipal attorney. Something
Oh,
my
cool.
dad did before me. Yeah.
Keeping it in the family.
Yes,
Oh, that's awesome. So you ran for Senate
I did.
and you won.
One, we had a really hard fought primary. Really hard fought
Yeah.
primary.
Tell me about like at this. Everybody knows the presidential primaries and all that. What is it like at this level?
So I've had a couple primaries, and I ran what they call off the line too, which means you don't have the endorsement of the party, and you don't have the preferred ballot position. I've done.
Or are you just down here?
You're down further on
Here's,
the line.
here's all these lines, and then you're over here.
But it makes you work harder.
Yeah.
It was tough. We were running against
And that's how
the
you won.
chairman.
You won.
Yeah, I did.
Look at
Because I always
you.
say, we work harder.
Nice. That's right.
And I said, we really don't take it for granted, and just out there constantly. And I pretty much use what you see is who I am, and that's how we work. And we always had a great team. Like I said, it was my family, my friends, the people I was running with. Everybody contributed, and we always did it as a group effort, as a team effort.
Yeah.
We might not have as much money, but we were always going to work as hard as we possibly could.
And that was that 19?
It was 2017,
So 2017,
and then we won the general.
you won the general,
Yeah,
and then COVID hits.
COVID hit.
How did that affect your office? How did that affect LD 40?
COVID changed everything you knew about public service. I even remember talking to Senator O'Toole, now Chairman O'Toole, on the phone and saying, this is not what you told me. It was going to be, because it just changed everything we did. We were only closed for a very short time during COVID, a few weeks when they had mandated you couldn't be open, and as soon as we were allowed back in the office, we were back in there, so about 6 weeks. But even during that 6-week period, we never shut down. laptops and our computers, and we were starting to help people immediately with unemployment, answering questions, getting information. It changed government because I think the district offices became and are still an extension of government. And so instead of being able to call up a department or to go somewhere, you were coming through us. So we were working one-on-one with everyone in our district, whether it was helping them file a claim. And instead of the departments contacting the residents directly, we were put in this crazy position of responding to them. And for us too, we were in this really weird position of not being able to pick up the phone and call somebody at the state level. Email. You could only email because they weren't in their offices. And that's still going on to this day.
Don't call me. Even if I'm sitting here, just send me an email.
Everything has to be an email, and while we can get some on the phone and some departments will respond to our emails right away, good luck to anybody trying to get somebody in government. There's nobody there to answer the phone, and that has to change. They're on an extension with a remote hybrid schedule, and when you're in public service, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that was one of the unfortunate things. We worked incredibly hard. My staff is here. They can tell you how hard we worked. And it became like no matter where you went, people were reaching out. And they were desperate. They were desperate when they were calling us. It led to some great things that I think we do. We had a young woman come in, single mom, 3 kids, that the police sent to us. Wayne police sent to us because they didn't know where to send her. She had lost her job. She had no money for food.
Oh, no.
Debbie in her office, I think, had $20 on her, and she gave her the money she had in her pocket. But we wound up connecting with somebody that ran a food bank. He went to her house that day with a basket of food and gift cards for the supermarket. And so we partnered with him, and we do food drives all year long to help support them.
That's awesome.
So that's people are so generous. We had people that took their rebate checks in the beginning that were working and hadn't lost their job and just bought food to donate to the banks. And anytime we pick up the phone and call when somebody falls on hard times, we can pick up the phone and call. And it's more than one food bank now. It's expanded. But they're there. They'll bring the food right to their home.
Well, let me know. Any way that we can help promote them.
There's St. Agnes in Little Falls that we work with. Bob Dombrowski, who is, we call him an angel. And the Wayne Interfaith Food Pantry. And there's so many all over the district that do great work. It's something that we've really seen pick up. I know Krista Phillips has done a lot more work with the ones in Bergen County, working with them. But it's been phenomenal, and that people really are generous and want to help. So that was a great thing that was side effect of a difficult time.
And how is it working with the different counties? I mean, because I know you're involved in Essex, Bergen, and Passaic.
Yeah, and Morris till the end of the year. It's been good. You know, we kind of, because we are from different counties, and so we know more people, or we're a little bit more comfortable in our home counties. I'll take the lead in Passaic.
Sure.
Assemblyman DePhillips will take the lead in Bergen, and we have a new teammate that'll be sworn in January, and Al Barless is from Essex County and Cedar Grove, and so we'll be looking to him to take the lead in Essex. But we work really well together with
and those
the
are the
offices.
assembly.
Those are my assembly mates, yeah.
All right, so what do they do? Like, what is an assembly?
Same thing we do.
Okay.
The offices work together. Some have joint offices. We will have an office in each county.
Okay.
We're in Passaic. Chris is moving his office to, I think, Franklin Lakes, because he was in Midland Park and we lost that town. And Al is going to have his office in Essex County. And so it just makes it easier for the constituents to go directly to our office if there's something they need help with. We do a lot of constituent meetings, but we work together. So the meeting may be in my office one time. The next time we'll do the meeting in Chris's office, and we'll do the same thing with Al. But they're there for the residents. And we do get a lot of people that come in. Sometimes it's to ask questions. Sometimes it's for
Just to
help.
walk in the office?
We do get walk-ins quite a bit. We're one of the ones I think that are more active. We get people from out of state, and that's a compliment to my amazing
Really?
out of state, out of county. I should
I was
say,
gonna
out of
say,
district.
wow.
Out of district. We do get calls from out of state, but they'll come from other districts. We've had people during COVID that took 2 buses to get to our office, and they said, we came to you because we heard you help people. And so that's my
nice.
phenomenal staff that they're,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
the front line. They're there every day to meet and greet people and work with them.
So if people do want to reach you, and what are like frequently asked questions that you get when people call you?
We get a lot of calls on how to get in contact with different departments.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing that is part of our routine day. And you can call us, you can email us, you can come to our office, and we do what we call outreach. And we try to go to each town in the district. We usually partner with our libraries, and we'll have a schedule, and you can come meet us there because it's easier. And we try to do it so that it overlaps like work hours. So maybe we're doing 4 to 6,
Right.
5 to 7 events, so people can get there after work hours as well.
Let me know whenever you guys have events. I'll
will.
post them and promote
Yeah.
it, because I feel like people love to complain. They love
They
to
do.
complain more than they like to praise.
They do.
So I always encourage people. Listen, if you're going to reach out, everybody has complaints. Everybody complains about everything. It's nice to get some praise every once in a while, which is rare, I'm sure.
We do get compliments because I have a great group of people that I work with, great people in my office. We've been very lucky to have phenomenal interns too.
I know you got one
We
sitting
have
over
one
here
today.
We got behind the scenes. We got the
We got the
the
posse.
dream team right here.
They really are. They make my
Completely
job
ignoring what we're
easier.
saying.
We're complimenting you guys right now.
See what happens? The one time that we're complimenting, that's it. Now it's going to be on social media.
And they represent us really well. They make us look good because they do the work day in, day out. The interns have been phenomenal because there's so many career opportunities in government, and they can get to see. And we've had some that have gone to intern down in Trenton and are maybe thinking about careers now. But they have been phenomenal at answering constituent questions, helping our residents. They've been great.
If someone was interested in interning,
Reach out. We will make it work.
Okay.
Whatever the reason, we've had high school and college kids.
Really?
We're proud of our interns. They come back. They keep in touch with
it's
us. They let us
testimony to
know
your
how they're
office.
doing. It really is. And we're really proud. We are so proud of our interns. We have the best interns around. We do.
what were your when you first took office? What were your biggest challenges? Like, what did you?
I think as much just learning the lay of the land,
Right.
finding out what's expected of you, what you can do.
Did you have a mentor, someone to talk to?
I had the best scenario because I had Kevin O'Toole, who actually took me to Trenton with him, took me for committees, took me to voting sessions, introduced me to people so that I understood what was actually going on once you got down
That's
there,
awesome.
and remained a resource. I still talk to him frequently, bounce ideas off of him. So I walked in with the best possible situation. He had actually stepped down early and I was appointed to his seat. So I had this hybrid where I was appointed in 2017 for a couple months, but still running for election in 2018.
Right.
So that was a unique experience, but just figuring out what you can do and what you can't do. You will get asked to help on all different areas, and sometimes you can't. So saying no or I can't help you is hands down the hardest thing to do. We got phone calls early on, and it was not what I expected. And it was people really calling because they didn't know where else to turn, asking for help. And so I might not have the answers, but pretty quickly we learned to ask for help or ask for guidance, and we became able to put people in touch with somebody who could help them.
Okay.
And maybe that was services for somebody suffering from addiction, or I'm having issues getting my child with developmental disabilities busing, or things that I never thought people would reach out for help. They did. Veterans for housing, and we had dealt with that a little bit as the county clerk's office because we had partnered with veteran groups. And so it really became this even bigger family and group of people that we can reach out to when someone calls, because they're calling us because they don't know where else to turn. And I don't think I expected that people would be calling saying, I don't know what else to do. Can you help me?
Yeah. Well, that must feel good that you can.
Hands down the best part when you help somebody.
Yeah.
It makes it worth it. It makes it worth it. And we're lucky. We work with our federal partners too, our Congress people and their offices, and we have a great working relationship with all of them. And so we can pick up the phone and reach out, and they're great too. The staff. There's phenomenal staff around the state.
So I want to talk about, I saw the article where you've written a bill for handicap accessibility on our public transit, especially the trains, right? So what is that? How does, and this is my ignorance, I don't care if you guys care about this or not, I care about this. When you think about something, or how does the whole bill writing process, take me through that whole journey?
So bill ideas come to us in multiple different ways, and I definitely, sitting in this job, have a special place in my heart for anybody with developmental and intellectual disabilities, and the community has welcomed us with open arms, and we feel the same way. And so when we can think of ways to make life easier, sometimes they're really common sense, small approaches, we do it. Bills come to us in a variety of different ideas. Sometimes it's our constituents have a great idea. Sometimes we'll...
Do they just send it to you like,
they do.
hey, I had this idea?
They do, and I love
Really?
when they do that. We'll
That's
get
so
emails,
fun.
and we'll be like, that's a great idea. Why did nobody think of that before? And we'll be like, we never thought of that. And so please
That's so
send us
cool.
your ideas. We welcome them. Because they're looking at things differently than maybe we are as well,
Right,
especially
right.
when you're living it.
Well, and they're in other towns, and you
Yeah.
don't know, and then all of a sudden, because I had reposted it, and I said, this doesn't just help
No.
this town, this helps the entire state.
Yeah. And so it's something that we sit on transportation, the committee, so it's something that's on our radar, but we don't take into consideration when you're doing routes, train routes, bus routes, the needs of the developmental disability, the
'cause
DDD
you're not in that
community.
world. You don't
We
live
don't at all. And yet that's their main method of transportation for a lot of them. It's the difference between being able to get to work or being able to get to school or just being able to get around. And so that was a bill that really came through with conversations with the community. We sit on the Disability Legislative Caucus with a lot of other people, and we meet remotely for the most part over Zoom, and we do it every couple months. And they have been phenomenal for putting ideas in front of us and saying, what can we do? And there is a great staff, bipartisan Office of Legislative Services staff down in Trenton. They draft the bills. We are also...
So you just tell them...
We give them ideas and they write it.
Really?
It's great.
Is that like when you always see it's like
Yes.
9,000 pages of this bill?
And we go
They're the
through
one that
them.
put that all together?
They do. We have a great staff. We have phenomenal staff down in Trenton too. Both offices, both sides of the aisle have their own offices, both levels in the Senate and the Assembly. We have the Senate Republican office. Smart, great, caring, dedicated people. A lot of times they'll come up with ideas for bills too, and they'll do the one-on-one work, working with the drafters, those that write the bills, making sure that it contains the information that we want, that there's no unintended consequences, so we have to go back and clean up the bill after it's adopted.
How long is the whole process?
It can be quick. It can take years. There's no rhyme or reason. So once you get the bill drafted, you introduce it. It gets referred to a committee, and then you start the dance of trying to get it heard
Trying to
in
sell
committee.
the committee?
Yeah. And sometimes it's an easy thing, and other times it takes much longer. No rhyme or reason. It's just because everybody has different priorities, and they're trying to, in this short window, get this work done.
Does it become sometime a party issue where it's like, well, we're not going to help that party because we're this party?
It can. We're a little bit luckier in the Senate. There's only 40 of us.
Nice.
So 25
You gotta be able to get
Democrats,
along.
15 Republicans. We work across the aisle, I think, much better than people realize. And I think people think politics, we disagree on issues, but we get along. What you see at the national level is not my world or my experience.
Right.
At the state level, we definitely work across the aisle. And there are people that you become friendly with, or you have passions, you share the same ideas, that I'm going to go to that senator and we're going to get this bill done together.
Yeah.
That happens too. So we don't run into as many obstacles with it becoming a party bill. They control the agendas, they chair the committees, but I find that when you partner with them, it makes it much easier to get things done.
Of
And
course.
that's what
Things
we
go
do.
fast. Nice.
Yeah.
So in these last several years that you've been in the Senate, have there been any, like, what are you most proud of that you've accomplished in the last several years?
You know, if you ask me which bill, and we've been fortunate that we had actual legislation that we worked and signed into law, I'm proud of that, and they're important things. We've had some that are so common sense that, again, like, how did we not think of this sooner?
Right.
One of them was just that if somebody passes away and you're a family member, you can still drive the car without having to go to a motor vehicle in 30 days to get title, to get the registration transferred. Same thing with the title. In the future, you can designate your beneficiary on the title so that you don't have to go through probate, because when you're grieving, you have enough on your plate to not think about that. We did Women's Veterans Day in New Jersey, bipartisan bill.
Wow.
Cleopatra Tucker was our partner in the assembly. And that was just so many people that we worked together with that we were really, really proud of. So there have been bills that I worked on that we're so proud of, but what we do on a daily basis, when we help someone in the office, when we make a difference, when we make their life a little bit easier, when we're able to resolve an issue, when we can help them, that's what we're supposed to do, and that's really what I'm more proud of.
Yeah. I feel like people, and again, this is my own ignorance, I feel like people don't quite get the hierarchy and what they do and what they don't do. So I encourage you guys, listen, if you have questions, or, as the senator was saying, if you're at a dead end, or you just don't know if you need help, or, this is the office to reach out. I'm going to put the email below on the screen so that people can contact these guys. So that, you can reach out. And if you're going to complain on social media, just write an email to the senator and say, listen, I'm in your district, and I'm going to read off the towns because I don't even know if everybody knows what districts they're in. So in Bergen County, you have Franklin Lakes, Ridgewood, Wyckoff.
Yep.
Essex County, you have North, West, and regular Caldwell. There's no East Caldwell?
No, East Caldwell.
Oh, yeah?
Not that I know of.
Was that a district thing? What the governor figured that out? And then you've got Cedar Grove, of course, home of Tommy D.
Tommy Cutlets.
Essex Falls, Fairfield, Verona, the quaint little town of Verona. That one of the interns
Verona.
is from, yeah. And then in Passaic County, you have Little Falls. You just picked up Hawthorne.
Yep.
Of course, you have Totowa, Wayne, and Woodland Park.
Woodland Park.
Where I don't even know, where is Woodland Park?
Right across the bridge.
Is it really?
Yeah, right there.
It's got to be like a postage stamp.
They're all the same.
I don't even know if I've
Little
ever
Falls,
seen a
West
sign
Patterson,
for
they're all the
Woodland
same,
Park.
about the same size. They're the Passaic Valley towns.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are all your towns. If you're in the legislative district 40, then this is your senator. This is who to talk to. She has a tremendous team behind her. Do you have any goals planned for the next 4 years?
So we're always hoping to get a lot done, but starting with hopefully state government getting back to work,
Yes.
and
That would be good.
so everybody can pick up the phone and get their issues resolved. Sometimes the issues find you. There are definitely things that I know we're going to continue to work on as we go forward. Definitely bail reform is on everybody's radar right now. That we all agree we don't want people serving time in jail for really minor offenses that nobody belongs in jail for, but I don't think anybody feels safer right now, and with carjackings and home invasions. So I think you'll see all of us working on that.
And how do you interact with sheriffs and different, law enforcement?
We are in touch with our police chiefs regularly. We hear from them. We reach out to them. They reach out to us and same thing with our sheriffs about what's going on, what we need to work on. We've done meetings with them. We've done press releases with statements from them. We interact with them. We go to meetings, meetings with us and the police chiefs, what we can work on. So we definitely have heard from them about what needs to be done.
So it's constant communication.
There's a new issue that probably wouldn't have thought about in the last few years that is definitely on our radar, and we're going to be focusing on going into the next session. Deepfake pornography. It is artificial intelligence generated child porn.
What?
There was an incident outside of our district that just happened where a high school student took the faces, the photos of his female classmates and generated porn, and it was shared, like sexting. It was shared among several schools. There
Like
really
another form
are
of bullying.
there's no penalties really for it. It's not even a crime. Or a severe enough crime with deterrent. And we talked to one of the moms yesterday whose daughter is one of these, unfortunately, a victim. And the mom was great because she said, I don't even know if they understand what they're doing. And so education, focusing on education and making sure that you understand what they're doing. And I don't have the answers yet, but we'll work together with the various groups to get the answers. You know, we tend to say, sometimes we think it's a great idea, we're going to teach that in school. And we can't add one more thing to the school day. And we're putting too much on our teachers and too much on the curriculum and getting back to basics. And maybe we bring in law enforcement, or maybe we bring in somebody from the AG's office to just have these conversations with high school students that, you know, this is what's out there, this is what you need to be aware of, but those are crimes, and this is why, you know, there are consequences. So maybe a little bit of a different approach, making sure it doesn't happen in the future. But the artificial intelligence probably was not a conversation we would have been having a few years ago. And then we always love the bills that are common sense and make your life better. Cut out the red tape, make things easier. You know, if you can do it online, or those people that need to go in person and resolve an issue, we want to make sure they have that ability to, like full service motor vehicle offices. Yeah. Remember that, where you could just go take care of everything at one stop.
That would be good.
So things like that. Anything that makes your life better, and then always keeping
not going to the motor vehicles office makes my life better.
We've done some of that, and that's been great. Take the things that we learned to do better during COVID and keep them in place, but making sure that there's alternatives there available. You know, we had people that weren't tech savvy, and I'm one of those, but that had never filed online for unemployment, and we would have them, or disability, and they're coming to our office, and you know, we're setting up the computer and assisting them, and we were taking their information and filing the claims for them.
Wow.
So government, that there's a place for that, but that's the government's job, the administration's job to take care of that. So. But anything that makes life easier, and same thing with you know, our veterans, our first responders, and our DDD community. You know, what can we do to help you? Those are always our focus.
Well, listen, if you guys have any ideas, something that you want to turn into a bill, or something that you'd like to see changed, or any questions at all, call them right there.
They're telling me things that we've done in the past. We did a bill, Debbie's right, that we were proud of, and we worked directly with the community to put a notation on your driver's license. It's voluntary, noting that the driver is autistic or has a developmental disability, so that the law enforcement knows they're interacting with somebody that may have a disability.
You guys did that?
We did. We did that. Again, it was ideas it was mostly moms and dads who had a child that was autistic, or hard of hearing, and saying, you know, they might...
What was that?
Exactly. And so, such a simple idea from the parents, and was really well received. And such a small thing, but can make life so much easier.
Well, especially, you know, I have several friends that have children that are on the spectrum. And, you know, they've shared some of the nightmares of trying to get things done. So, you know, any issues like that, you know, reach out, send an email. Don't complain. Complaining on Facebook and Instagram gets you nowhere. All it does is have people talk about you behind your back. So don't do that. If you have questions, you have concerns, you're at a dead end, whatever it is, send an email. You see the email address, make a phone call Debbie, call Donnie, call the new intern from Verona. But at least reach out and try to get things done rather than sitting back and complaining about it. That doesn't help anybody.
No, and we understand that people are frustrated. Usually we're the last chance, last hope, and
but at least maybe start there.
We're really
maybe
good
start at the office,
calming people down. We like to say we're really good at talking people off the ledge. And by the time, you know, they hang up from the call, they're laughing, they're smiling. You know, they'll say, "I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you, but you answered the phone, so I had to yell at someone."
I usually start with that.
Yeah.
Because there's no reflection on you personally.
Yeah. And we get that.
But
and
I'm
so
really angry right now.
and
Yeah.
we understand why they're angry too. So if we can help, we want to.
Yeah. Well, again, reach out to the senator's office if you have questions. You have, issues that you're having a hard time dealing with. And again, if you have ideas, things that might make it better for everybody, not just yourself. No one wants to know why you can't get your driveway plowed on time. But if there are ideas and things that you want to share that may help other people as well, reach out to the office and get their feedback. If you're in the LD40. If you're not in LD40, if you're any of these other towns that weren't listed, then call your look it up, figure out who your legislative district is, and reach out to them because that's what they're here for. They're here to help.
If you're not sure, we'll put you in touch with your senator.
So
and
you
assembly
can start
people.
here. There you go.
We will.
See?
We do that quite a bit.
She did it. She's the one that said it.
We get that all the time.
Yeah.
I told you before, my family and friends, I get stopped in the, food shopping, and my husband will get stopped, and, can your wife help me? Sure, here's her number.
Yeah.
So we're good. However you get in touch with us, we'll help you.
See, that's what it is. They're here to help. You just have to reach out and ask for the help. So hopefully this will help everybody, find a place, a place they can call home.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to see you in Hawthorne more.
Yes, you will.
And I don't know if you have your tickets for It's a Wonderful Life, but we're doing that
This
on
weekend.
December 17th. And listen, we're sold out, but if you do want tickets, send me an email. Go to comments@thetowncast.com. We have people that end up not showing up, and we'll make sure to take care of it because it's one of those films that you have to see during the holiday season.
We do.
Thank
More
you
than
again.
once.
Yeah, thank you again. And wish everybody a happy Hanukkah and a very Merry Christmas. I think we have one or two more left episodes for the balance of the year, and then it's 2024.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Be well, everybody.
Take care.